I already sent it to your phone, brother. Welcome to Damu Kiwe Conversations. It's Duke Sims, the Don. We got the exclusive interview with Benzino today. We on Clubhouse. Shout out to all my Clubhouse fam. Welcome to Damu Kiwe Conversations, one of the hottest rooms on Clubhouse, one of the hottest voices on the West Coast for the hip-hop culture. We got Yael in the building. Hit that like button on y'all way in. Yeah.
What's the deal? What's the deal?
We got Benzino in the building, man. We gonna do this interview. Let them know where we at. We get a lot of feedback. That's you, huh, Benzino? Yeah, it's live. What, you on the flight?
I'm on a tour bus.
Oh, the tour bus, as you should be, man. Hey,
man, Damu Kiwe Conversations.
Hey, so who you on tour with?
I'm just doing some, like a lot of cities in the Midwest, just going to a lot of clubs, you know what I'm saying, tapping in. Plus, I'm doing a Source Awards documentary. So, a lot of cities, man, I'm trying to link up with certain artists so I can get, interviews, you know what I mean? So I got a couple of things in the pot right now I've been working on. So with me, when I'm on the road and like I'm in people's faces, and when I'm outside, that's when like I'm at my best. So, you know what I mean? So shit, man, I just been on the road for the past, I don't know, about I say about 6-7 days. A couple more days, I'm gonna go back.
And that's what's up. You still based in Boston?
No, I'm in Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta. Yeah, I'm in the A. I'm based in the A. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Boston. I was up in Boston for a couple of days up in Maine. Fucking with this cannabis. My man Smoke from Executive Cultivation. I'm doing some shit with him. Honestly, I think Maine might grow the best weed outside of California. I know California's the best. I know that. But,
right.
I've been up in Maine, and they've been doing some big things with weed up there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good look. And what, they got recreational, or they got just medicinal?
Rec, yeah. Nah, they got rec.
Okay,
they got rec.
Okay. All right, so tell us a little bit. I want to get into who Benzino is. Fuck all of the headlines and the different stories. We'll get to that. What was it like growing up in Boston, man?
I think Boston, right, for a East Coast city, especially like in the 70s and 80s, it was, in the 70s they had real, 60s too, and before that, real racist, undertones with it. You know what I'm saying? It was real segregated. Black Boston was about maybe 15-mile radius as far as how big it is. Blue Hill Ave, Washington Street, and Roxbury, Dorchester, South End, Mattapan. It really wasn't that big. But
yeah,
the thing about Boston was,
shout out Roxbury, man.
Shout out my Cape Verdian people and my Puerto Rican people. Right there. That's the flags right there. So
exactly.
So I you know what I'm saying, growing up in Boston was like, I was Cape Verdian, but I was black. I didn't really know my heritage growing up. Like I was, I grew up in the projects, Academy Homes projects, Jamaica Plain projects, that I moved to Four Corners. And these are all bad sections of Boston, but you know what I'm saying? It's the hood. Niggas do what hood niggas do. Started early, you know what I'm saying? Like selling weed, and like my dad was heavy in the streets, so I started like 12, 13 with him. Then he went to the feds for a minute. My dad was pretty big in Boston at the time, on that dog food, on that heroin. So he got indicted. Right. You know what I'm saying? He did about 20 years, 2 separate times altogether, about 2022. So I grew up fucking with the Shower Posse up in Boston. They had set up shop. I was fucking with them for about 5 years, fucking with YBI from Detroit. Like again on that dog food, fucking with that heroin. Boston was a city where, you gotta hustle, because they wasn't giving niggas no real jobs. the Irish people controlled like all the civil jobs,
Unions, like the
union,
unions and all of that.
firemen, all the city jobs, toll collectors, all the shit that you get benefits. And then the Italians had like the airports, construction, so you had to know somebody. Now through my dad, I met a lot of Italian, Irish, real guys, wise guys. So, I was coming up under a lot of like solid men. And that was for a good part of my early life. And then, Boston got onto hip hop, of course, the late 70s, early 80s, because it's only like 3-hour drive from New York. It really ain't that far. All my father's family was born in New York. So I'd spend like 5 months in New York at my grandfather's house in the Bronx. And that's where I learned how to like scratch with my Uncle Eddie and shit. Like, I was probably 11 years old, 1976, 77, scratching on turntables. I posted a picture on my Instagram that my man sent me. I was 15 years old, had the Kango, the Gazelles, and I had the 2 SP1200s. But I'm really a student of hip hop. Like, I really, beyond all the other bullshit, and even like before the Source magazine, before I met Dave, I really was heavy into hip hop. I'd say 76, 77 on. And I'm 59 now. I mean, we had to deal with white people. You know what I'm saying? Like white people, we had to deal with. Gangs started appearing like in the say about 84. You know what I'm saying? Boston started ganging up because a lot of the West Coast culture and influences started coming into Boston, where like, you would think it'd be New York. I think for us, it was more West Coast influence. It's probably, if not just as much New York, because New York was New York. We was influenced a lot by New York because that's where hip hop started. So any city around New York, like Connecticut, Jersey, Rhode Island, Boston, they're gonna be influenced. But I think for some reason, out of all them cities, Boston really started taking on culture heavy in LA music. And I just remember when Colors came out, like the gangs in Boston went crazy. Like there really wasn't gangs like that in New York. So,
Right.
we would, so like, started fucking with the gang situation. That was early, like in the 80s. So my life from there was like, ganged out, hip hop, and selling drugs. And that would be my life for probably the next 20 years.
So you mixing oil with water from the get-go at a young age. How did you bump into Dave May?
We was called the Almighty RSO, and we was we never had a radio station. We had a AM station that would go off like when the sun went down. We never had no station after the sun went down. It was AM. So Boston's a real white city, so they wasn't letting niggas get no radio. We really never had no culture when it came to hip hop. We had to go out there and do it ourselves. Like I'd be doing block parties, house parties, all that shit early. And when I started the RSO, we was hip hop guys, street guys that just loved hip hop. Bring the speakers outside. We had a generator. Before the generator, we would hook up extension cords to the light, get our electricity. We would break in abandoned cribs, take the generator, throw parties in the cribs. Like we was really trying to bring hip hop to Boston. When the Fresh Fest came, like Run DMC, we'd have to drive to Providence because Boston wasn't allowing those type of concerts. So we'd have to drive to Rhode Island and shit.
But Providence is only like, what, an hour away, something like that from Boston?
Not even that, about a half an hour, about that.
Yeah.
So
I partied out in RI, man. I partied out in RI.
So that's where you've seen a lot of Cape Verdeans at, because for those who don't know, Cape Verdean are islands off of the coast of West Africa, and when Cape Verdean people migrated in the 60s, and well before that, of course, but like in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, when they started migrating over to America, they would just come to the New England area, like Rhode Island and Massachusetts, because Cape Verdean were like fishermen people, so they want to stay next to the water.
I got a question, Benzino. I'm Yael.
So what's up, y'all?
How you doing, bro? are you guys
Good,
like
bro.
assimilated with like the Creole people, like Creole and like the Islander people?
It's
Nah,
like, okay,
it,
well, see, well, Creole is just means a mix. So,
right.
Right.
so you could say it's a mix of African and Portuguese. All right, that's what.
Got it.
Yeah, that's what Cape Verdeans are now. Like other countries, you have your Cape Verdeans who identify more Portuguese and white, and then you have your Cape Verdeans who's like, no, we're African. Now, me, I grew up black because you know when you go to school, there's only three boxes in the '70s: black, white,
Right.
or other. Right. So I never
Right.
picked other. I was black. So when I went up on the blocks and the projects, I was always assumed I was black. I never really understood what Cape Verdean was. Now my mother spoke the language. All my aunts and everything are real Cape Verdeans. They all spoke the language. You know, I understood the curse words, right? And I ate certain dishes that were Cape Verdean, like cachupa, and mandioc and jag, which is rice. So but I never, for a long time, and it was unfortunate, I never even knew that Cape Verdean was associated to Africa for a long time.
Right.
So,
Well, a quick fun fact, right? Well, it ain't fun. The island of Cape Verde is right off the African coast. So
right,
that was one of the first places that they would pick up all of these different tribes that were hoarded and put on the island and sent to go work. They had slaves that did work Cape Verde, but that was really where they housed them on their way out. Import, export, international trade.
That's right. He got it. And you know what's so crazy is like, so when you grow up, you know, when Cape Verdeans come, like they don't speak any English, and you know they immediately have to get, of course, assistance, you know, because they're coming from an island and they don't got nothing. So my aunts would help a lot of Cape Verdeans. God rest their soul. My aunt Florence Miranda would help a lot of Cape Verdeans when they would come in town, and you know, Cape Verdeans are Catholic people. So the few times I did go to church, it was in a Catholic church, and you know, it was a big difference from, because I you know, like my girl, of course, is Baptist. So a Catholic church growing up is you know what I'm saying?
Singing all that shit.
I met Dave at a college radio station called WERS, Emerson College, and they was really the ones playing a lot of hip hop for Boston. Without them, there would have been really no radio playing hip hop at all. And think about it, how Boston is a huge media market, but they wasn't doing nothing for black people. So if it wasn't on pop radio, then you wasn't getting played in Boston. Now, Dave came up to WERS every year would give a telethon because they, you know, to get money, and they would have a live music week where bands would come and play at the college. Wendy Williams graduated from Emerson College. She got her degree from there. It's like a lot of radio people went there because they went, you know, they had a good radio program up there. So Dave came up there. He was going to Harvard. He came up there to interview us, and we did the interview. And then me and Dave just kept in touch with each other, and just kept the friendship. You know, he had a radio station at Harvard, and next thing you know, he's playing hip hop on Saturdays, and my DJ would go up there and DJ for him, and we just forged a friendship.
Right. So who comes up with the idea? Hey, look, we need to document and have a voice in our culture. What's hip? What was not? Was hip hop and was hip not? Right. Who comes up with that idea to come with the source? And was it at first just like a pamphlet and then progress, or was it straight to print up? Y'all had the whole concept from the get-go.
I just remember we was doing radio, you know, a couple of weeks that was in. We'd go up there, do radio shows. Street Beat, that was the name of it. It was Saturday for 2 hours. And 1 week, I just remember Dave had an idea to put what was going on. Really, at that time, it was in New York. what was going on, top 5 playlist, a couple of things, and just on a one piece of paper. And it was his idea to do a newsletter. It was basically a newsletter that would go out to the labels. He would send it out to different labels and different people at the time in hip hop, and with the hopes of, hey, look, this right here could get bigger. We never discussed too much with it because our friendship when Dave came up with that, I was so heavy in the streets at that time, and I was doing my own hip hop thing, to where it's like, when Dave did it, I really didn't see the significance in it, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, because I'd never seen nothing like that before. But from that, it went to a small booklet. He had a couple of guys from college, his roommate, a white guy named John Schechter, and then these other 2 black guys named H. Edward Young and James Bernard. They were all going to different Ivy League schools around the country. And they all put their coins together. It wasn't too much to make it a booklet. And then that's when the first Source magazine booklet came. It was a black and white, small kind of booklet with about 10 pages, 8 pages, and Slick Rick was on the cover. So now the vision is, wait a minute, we can really have a magazine. I think after Dave started seeing that, I think Dave's vision was Rolling Stone. I think that was the blueprint that Dave seen to actually say, hey, look, hip hop is going to get this big. It wasn't that big as rock music yet, but it's going to get this big. And we can, as it's growing, we can grow. So again, I wasn't involved too much with none of that. I was just Dave's man. I remember I got locked up one summer and I had an apartment. I let Dave stay at the apartment because Dave was from DC. So usually college kids go home for the summer, and I let him stay at my apartment. They was boxing up and sending out magazines. And then as time progressed, he moved to New York and got an office. I was still in the streets. You know what I'm saying? But I could say the early years, I can give all the credit to Dave. You know what I'm saying? And then when Dave brought his guys, the 3 guys I mentioned, I can give them the credit also.
Right. Okay. So at this time, you're coming with this voice with your boy from DC, you from Boston, but you're also an artist. Were you getting booked as an artist in New York at that time? Were they showing love? At least some of the DJs, you being from Boston?
Well, we was like one of the biggest groups in Boston, but we was a gangster rap group, and that was kind of new. That was kind of new for the East Coast. Like Easy was like, we got signed to Tommy Boy, we got signed to RCA for the EP. We got Tommy Boy as a single, and then we was about to get our first album deal with Easy. I met with Easy at the Source magazine at the office. At this time, me and Dave's friendship was like, we was best friends at that time. Like I was Dave's best friend. Source wasn't really making money at that time, like 92, 93 as things, it started 88 as it progressed. We're looking at 92, 93 now, and it really wasn't making a lot of it. It was doing decent, but again, they was putting out, it was the first of its kind, and the idea was just to keep, as hip hop was growing, to keep growing it. And not just that, but to grow advertising. You gotta understand, when hip hop first came out, a lot of companies weren't trying to advertise with young black men, from the hood, and anything what they was doing, they wasn't with it. Nobody was with it. Forget about the big car companies and McDonald's and all that shit that we ended up getting and trailblazing, but even just the small companies. And that's why, like back then, the FUBUs, the Mark Malones, all those early black-owned clothing companies were like the first ones to start really doing major advertising, and like the early hip-hop independent labels. So that was not only the magazine was like the first of its kind, but also the whole idea of advertising in hip-hop. Dave trailblazed that himself, and he didn't go to Harvard for advertising. He went for government, and he was just relentless. He was notoriously organized, kept notes for everything, and just was like, So,
Right.
I was just supporting him at the time. I'm doing my thing. He would bring down A&Rs from New York to come see us perform because we'd be opening up for every major artist, every BLL, whoever it was. And we ended up getting a deal like that because, people were fucking with the Source, so they was fucking with Dave, and Dave's like, look, I got a rap group, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, man, these guys are dope. Like, we had a dope stage show. So when they came and seen us perform, we had our people. I mean, we would be having 2, 3, 4, 500 people, and they'd be screaming for us. So it was impressive, and we ended up getting a couple of deals from it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So then you guys get the Source, right? Now you dealt as an artist with the bias that coming up out of Boston. Then you come with the Source. How real was the West Coast bias at that point?
Well, me personally, as it went on, and we're a rap group, we had got kind of like sued by the police for our song "Won the Chamber" about cops killing people in Boston. They was doing that shit a lot, getting away with it, and we was going through our little issues. Easy was gonna sign us, and then he died. I talked to Easy maybe a day before, like he died in Cedar-Sinai. Like I talked to Easy almost every day when he was in there. I met with him twice before he ended up going to hospital. So yeah, rest in peace to to the greatest, man. He's the Godfather. So
Godfather gangster rap.
the Godfather gangster rap, hands down. And without him and Dre, Ren, Q, hip hop's whole trajectory would be different. It's just I don't know where else that would have came from. Because when that came, if we didn't have the West Coast with that, because once that came, then that cemented West Coast for that. That was it. Although there was other West Coast groups coming out doing different music, but that was it after that. That's what we seen in West Coast, and that's what we respected. That's what we was like amazed by. Like, you'd understand if you wasn't from the West Coast and you watching these movies and you seeing the guys and the Mexicans and gangbanging and how niggas is doing it, niggas was amazed everywhere else in the country when they was watching that shit. Prior to that, they only seen the mafia movies get it in. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this was something new to everybody, and everybody, whether they want to admit it or not, wanted to be a part of that. They wanted, even if they couldn't be blood equipped, they still wanted to grab their guys around the way and like, listen, we're gonna rep for our block. You know what I'm saying? So that was the influence. And I just remember in '94, they put out a story about us, and that's when I became a partner, because the entire staff walked out on it and said that he shouldn't have put a story about the almighty RSO, that it broke the integrity of the magazine, because we wasn't a big enough group and we didn't deserve it. Dave fired everybody, all of them, like 40, 30, about 20, 30, and he made me 50% partner, and that was like in '94. And then from then on, that's when I really started being a part of owning and then having things to do with the magazine. And as I grew, like my duties and stuff that I learned became more valuable. And like that was it. But it became the gift and the curse, because I still want to rap. So people are like, oh man, he gives himself his own ads. So it was the beginning of the gift and the curse. I made a lot of money with the Source and did a lot of things, but my music career, started kind of like getting judged more because I was with the magazine.
No, I definitely witnessed that from afar, right? Let me ask you this. Going back in history, if you could do duos, name 3 albums that you will regrade after time has elapsed and you've seen that they were quality music that deserved more mics.
The Outkast definitely should have been the 5 mics.
Southern Player Risky, Cadillac Jr. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't understand the music at the time, I think. I think a lot of people didn't understand that music, but that was a masterpiece. That was, that really transcended hip hop. That's what makes great albums, and I know that now. The Fuji should have been 5 mics. It got 4.5. That should have been 5 because there's no way Lauren, how she was singing, like we ain't never heard that. That was one of the greatest voices in hip hop, and maybe we might have took that for granted. And I think the last one, and I'm gonna say it, and I'm just not saying this, but when me and Eminem got into the situation, I gave him 2.5 mics, but that was because we was in a war. But that album was one of his better albums, and it deserved for the 2.5 mics.
Hey, that's big of you to say that, right? Especially because his lyricism is there, but I agree with you on a lot of positions you made. Before we get to Slim Shady, what was your relationship with Murder Inc. at that time?
Well, the crazy shit was I didn't know him. Like when me and M was going through our shit, I didn't know John then, but everything sped up so fast. I ended up buying a crib next to him in Saddle River in Jersey, so our kids are going to school together. He's beefing with 50. I mean, it just was like kind of weird because I'm beefing with M, he's beefing with 50, and now we really kind of hook up. But then I ended up going on tour with him in the States and across seas. John took me on tour, let me open up. That was big. He didn't have to do that. So I really owe Ja Rule a lot. And I really got close to Murder Inc. Not so much Herb, but all the other guys, like with Ja and all the other guys. You know what I'm saying? Like people that probably don't know.
Let me run a couple
Cat is my nigga. Cadillac my nigga. Black Child my nigga. Word.
Right.
Word.
So
go ahead, y'all, before I get into this.
So let me ask you this: being that you had a beef with Eminem, right? And being that Eminem was like one of the newfound favorite lyricists coming up out of the Aftermath camp, do you feel like beefing with somebody at that moment in time because of his clout and his rise for success? Do you feel like that put any kind of tarnish on your career at any time?
Yeah, of course. Hell yeah, did it. It's to this day, 22 years later, but that's what hip hop is. So I don't regret none of that. I mean, me being in the position I was, owning the Source, I was in a major position and I didn't have to answer to nobody. Now, I probably shouldn't have used the magazine as the platform within the battle, but how could I have not used it when that's what it was? You understand, it wasn't necessarily, okay, the battle shouldn't have been a big coverage in the Source. Me and Eminem, all right, but the racist tapes should have been in the Source. It didn't matter. Even if I wasn't a part of the Source and those racist tapes came out, them shits was supposed to be, because that's what we was covering. Politics, news, everything. That was a major situation. He was a major artist, and his guys gave us sold us the tapes. So that was a major story. If that would have came out like today with internet, that would have been the number one story.
Oh no,
so,
it was big even then though, right? Everybody knew about your beef with Slim Shady at that point. But I don't believe that some of those tapes were ill-found. When you got you born in a country where we've been exploited for hundreds of years, especially corporate America, and you see this coming in the music industry, and you thinking, oh, this is Elvis Presley all over again.
That's all it was. That's all it was.
Right.
That's all it was. I mean, with me, I'm coming from Boston. I'm a kid growing up where honestly, we had race riots, race fights, running home from school, or they're running home, or we're running. We can't be in South Boston. We can't be it was crazy getting chased from the train station. I mean, this is all the 70s and 80s. This ain't the 60s. We going through this in color. So, that was my mindset, and I just felt like hip hop. And I've said this many times. I've said this back then. I said, hip hop is what really helped the streets and black struggling people feed their kids at a level that nothing else has, as far as a whole of the entire culture. You didn't have to go to college to really get money. That was big for us, man. Shit, other other than college and other than drugs, it was just government assistance. So hip hop eclipsed all that, and I just felt like, damn, like I didn't feel this way about the Beastie Boys. You know, shit, it was just hip hop. We just loved their music, but the powers that be started seeing that, you know, white people who is across America and in the world and love hip hop, they knew that there's a whole culture out there who won't even mess with black people at all, but will mess with Eminem because he's hip hop and he's white, so they still get to be a part of hip hop. You know?
Deuce.
Deuce. For the little kid, right? That they could be accepted in and get into that culture. Go ahead.
I want to, because he answered that question very well, and I appreciate that, because some people will stray away from it because whether the clout or the views or the responses off of that beef was good or bad, some people try to hide that. So salute to you for that. I got another question. So being that you answered it in that manner, what advice would you give somebody now in this day and time, like an artist that?
Well, I mean, as far as
in the industry.
Well, I mean, as far as advice, man, I mean, listen, the game is devalued now, because back in the day, if you didn't know how to rap, you wouldn't even try. You wouldn't go over there to the park and pick up the mic. You wouldn't even do it. There's too many people who just don't respect the culture, or there's too many people who really didn't pay their dues or didn't practice hard enough to be fucking putting music out, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a lot of not good music out right now. A lot of people just rapping to be rapping, and it's just taken away from the art form, man. And you know, there's a lot of great shit out there. There is a lot of dope shit, but there's just too many people rapping. My advice is, like, if you are gonna do music, you don't have to just do music and just do music. You can do music on your time off. Try to get something else going on in your life at this point. Can't be just rap. It just can't be. So if rap don't work, then you can fall back and get money. Because that's really the idea. We gotta be in survival mode right now. People don't realize, man, groceries and like, I know a lot of
we losing you.
But they don't know what to do with it. You know, I don't know, man. Hip hop has changed, man,
and not necessarily for the
a lot of great shit happening.
Bad reception, partner. Benzino, I'm gonna kick you down.
Yup, can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go. It was breaking up. Yeah, I'm gonna have to kick him down, and then he could come back up. Boom. All right, so we'll wait for him to join us. And he had mentioned murdering Black Child, Cadillac Ty, and going on tour with Ja. So when he come back in, let me tell him come back in. We could get to that. Yeah, can we get a reset?
Hopefully, most definitely, my brother. I'm right here. I'm just making sure everything is good on my end. But guess what? We live in effect with Benzino right now, sitting in the Damu Kiwe Conversations. You got Deuce Sims, and you got your boy, the Kiwe pop star, Yael, with a great interview, great content with Benzino. Appreciate him for coming out. Benzino, welcome to Damu Kiwe Conversations.
Yeah, this is real time. This is live. I told him to hit the link again. Benzino will be coming right back on. We gonna get into it. We gonna get into it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my fam on Clubhouse that came through supporting. Shout out to Smokey JG, and then we got my boy back right now. Oh, it still ain't getting no. You need to connect your microphone so I can add you, Benzino. All right, there it go. Boom. So you should have a better connect now.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let me read you this article since you mentioned Murder Inc.
Yep.
What was going on. And then you tell me what you remember about this.
Hell yeah.
On March 24th, 2000, 50 Cent was stabbed in the back outside the Hit Factory studio in New York. The assault was believed to be the result of a beef between 50 Cent and then Murder Inc. artist Ja Rule. The feud between the two began when Ja was filming a video in Queens, and an associate of 50 stole Ja Rule's chain. Murder Inc. CEOs Irv Gotti and Chris Gotti were charged for assaulting 50, but the charges were later dismissed. 50 Cent was treated to 3 stitches after the stabbing. Black Child later confessed that he stabbed 50 Cent as self-defense because he thought someone had a gun. The incident became another chapter in the long feud between Ja Rule and 50 Cent and one of G Unit's many alleged altercations. What do you remember about this incident?
So that night, I was with a group mate men, my group mate men, and we was at Sony recording studios right down the street. Hit Factory and Sony. They was like two of the main studios in New York at the time. And we was recording our album. And I remember one of the the members in the group, Mr. Jesus, went outside to smoke a cigarette. He came back in, we downstairs in they call it the hip hop room. It's like in the basement, but it was dope the way they had it. And I remember he brought him in, and I think I was playing Madden. I think it was Madden 2000, matter of fact, yo. And I just remember he came through the door. I was sitting kind of like across the room, so he came into it was the studio lounge, and was it the lounge? No, matter of fact, it was the actual room. So I just remember he was like, "Yo, what's up?" You know what I'm saying? I was like, "What's up?" I was kind of looking at Jesus in the corner of my eye, like, nigga, like, because we had rules and shit. You know what I'm saying? You just can't be you gotta clear shit with niggas. Don't be bringing niggas up in, with anybody. You just gotta be careful. So he was like, "Yo, what's up?" He mentioned Red Hot Love of the Trackmasters and Steve Stout, because I had new Trackmasters and Steve Stout. So he was like, "Yeah, basically, like, he was like, listen, yeah, they said it." But he showed me he got stabbed. He said he got stabbed, and he said Yayo had he showed me he got stabbed, he was bleeding, and then he showed me, he picked the shirt up, then he showed me he had a gun, but the gun didn't have no bullets in it. So Yayo dropped the gun. Yayo had the gun. It was a revolver, those small revolvers. So I guess Black Shot hit Yayo. He dropped the gun, picked it up. There was no bullets in the gun. So when he's telling me the story, he was disappointed. Now, I didn't know Yayo at the time. I didn't know who was the other guy, but once
Yayo was on the Statue of Liberty play.
I just remember the exact thing was he mentioned it. He said Yayo. He was like, "Yeah, I had the gun." He said, "I think him and Black Child was getting to it, and he dropped the gun, picked it up, and the gun had no bullets in it." He showed it to us. It was everybody inside there. It just wasn't me. It was everybody in the control room. Everybody heard it. So I said, "Oh, okay." I didn't know John at the time. That's why this shit was so crazy, because a month later, I'd be really fucking with them, or a couple of months later, I'd be fucking with them heavy. So I just remember I called him a car service. Because, at the time, I owned the Source magazine, so we had our own car service, Atlantic Car Service. So I called him a car service and had the service take him up to the hospital.
Right. So 50 Cent
we were strapped.
That happened was bullshit.
No, he didn't deny it. Don't tell me that. I know he didn't deny it. I don't know, but I know he would. I know he don't speak on it, but I know he didn't deny it. Ain't no way.
Oh no! As a matter of fact, let me think about it. No, what he denied was that he ever made a report for a medical insurance claim or something, which implicated. That's when they were saying he was a rat, right? They said he made a report implicating Black Child and Murder Inc. in stabbing him, and I think it was in his insurance report or something. He denied that.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy because nobody ever asked him, you know what I'm saying, about that. I done told the story a few times, but nobody ever asked him about that. But that happened. And you know, like I said, it was about 5 of us in the room, so it just wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. It's just weird how shit happens, man. It's a small world.
Right. What's your relationship with RSO today?
You know, I just went up there about a month ago, did a show in Franklin Park. My man Tony Rome came on stage. We did one in the chamber. Me and 2 times, that's my brother. We still, we talk all the time. You know, I'm just leaving Boston now, like, well, a few days ago and shit, man. So,
I think we lost Benzino. He in traffic. There you go. He on that tour bus, man. Share, hit that like, invite if you on Clubhouse. Hey, Benzino. Oh yeah, he definitely having some problems. But we gonna get into it, man. Do not shake. If you watching, if you peeking, but you ain't speaking. Benzino, I can hear you again. You good?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I got a clip for you. I want you to react to this clip. Hold on. Yeah, you know, I did my research, man. I'm very professional and take my journalism seriously. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We finna get into this Benzino on Paul Pierce. The truth really did tell the truth. We gonna get into it, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, man, hit that like button, share, tell a friend. You know what I'm saying? We in our journalistic energies right now, man, with a legend, CEO of the Source magazine. As you heard right there, Tony Yayo was on the Statue of Liberty play with a revolver pistol with no bullets in it. My nigga. I know you just didn't get cracking with that motherfucker, and that's why I ain't got no shell. How was you talking about you was doing all this hustling for 50 and and you his right hand man, and nigga, you ain't even got no money for no shells, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? You can't even buy a smoking shell revolver. So what you had, like a 8-ball, 38 special, a snub nose, maybe a 357, a 4.4, 32, deuce. I don't know what he had, but whatever he had didn't have no bullets, so he trying to fake it till he make it. Let's see if he come back in, man. Because I definitely want to get into this other stuff. Let me see. Hit the link again. Sometimes you got to resend the link because it won't let him up. But when he come on, we should get some more. We gonna edit and chop this thing up real proper, like the Smokey Show. Silent but violent. Salute, dope interview. Hey man, appreciate it, man. We got the content. This is just kind of like what we do, man. Okay, here we go.
Yep, yeah. Let's do it.
All right, so we back. So we finna play this clip. It's only about 2 minutes. Yep. And this is you speaking on Paul Pierce. The truth, telling the truth. Hold on.
Yep.
Okay, boom, we back with another one. Like and subscribe to this page. We're going to have all the entertainment and everything for you. But today here, we got Benzino talking about Paul Pierce and how he got stabbed 11 times
Paul
in
Pierce,
Boston.
Paul
This
Pierce
is one you do not want to miss.
because he was being aggressive with my nigga's girl. And he disappointed me when he went on Stacks and Matt Barnes' interview and started, bro, with the camera, bro, you getting aggressive with my nigga's girl. That's my nigga's girl. He don't got shit. He hustling in the streets. You got millions of dollars, and you ain't supposed to be you from LA and you in another nigga city trying to get aggressive with a hood nigga's girl. That's not smart, bro. Somebody should have told you. When you go in another cities, these athletes, let me excuse these athletes, these NBA and NFL athletes. When you go in another city, relax, bro. Understand who you fucking. Some of these niggas.
So as I did my research, these are the suspects that popped up for his stabbing. Oh, wow.
Put that shit out because he was fucking his baby mother. We don't play that shit. Movon got smashed in his fucking head from fucking Apple's girl. Like, stop fucking niggas' girls, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that Paul Pierce shit, and make no mistake, Paul pointed niggas out. My nigga Roscoe, free Roscoe, got 20 years for that. He pointed Roscoe out. When that shit happened at the club, nigga, the next day at the club, I went to motherfucking New York, got the fuck out of there. I had to come back, and my man Hurst, who had nothing to do with it, I had to pay $150,000 for a lawyer to make sure Hurst didn't go to jail. He took it to trial. They found Hurst not like, but free Big Trev. Trev got 7 years, and Roscoe got 20 in a day, because Paul Pierce was like, that's them. Over the shit that you getting aggressive with another nigga's girl.
Okay, so
nasty work. And then you see the stab wounds that Paul Pierce took. Let's blow that up for y'all so y'all know how really get in the field, man. These were some rough guys coming up out of Boston at that time, Benzino and them. Did your man that did the 20 get out?
Nah, Roscoe, free Roscoe, he's still locked up. Bush boss Roscoe. That was unfortunate for everybody, and Paul, and Paul's family, everybody. Look, I'm a big Celtics fan, just like I'm sure you guys are big Lakers fan. And those battles with Kareem and Bird and DJ and Worthy and like that was real shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Magic, like that's a part of our culture. Even before hip hop, the Lakers, LA, Celtics rivalry was
it's still the biggest in NBA history for sure.
So when we got Paul, it was like, oh shit, like people knew he came from Inglewood because I thought he squared Kansas. We was happy as fuck. Oh, we gonna kill him. This first motherfucking round draft pick, a forward. He gonna play with Antoine Walker. We gonna kill niggas. So you know what I'm saying? Like this was gonna be some good shit. So I just remember, the Wise Guys, it was a group that I put together. I formed a group of different gangs, and I ended up, we was averaging 120 murders in Boston. The year after I put the Wise Guys together, it was rappers from every gang and every project. It was 30 murders. You know what I'm saying? I never got the credit, but it was cool. Like I really calmed a lot of shit down in Boston that year. Those couple of years. There was a party we was giving for the Wise Guys. I got him a distribution deal with Def Jam. So all the guys was there that night downtown Boston. Everybody was happy. We had got distribution deals. These guys are finally getting something out the hood. And just remember the Celtics happened to be at the club also. And I remember seeing Tony Batiste. And then you could tell the guys who are Celtics that you might not have knew because they were just taller than everybody. And Paul, I remember Paul had a leather jacket on when he came in, but I didn't recognize Paul. It's crazy because, it was the first time I seen him in person, and I didn't see him in a basketball uniform. He had street clothes on. I didn't recognize him. I knew he was a Celtics player because he was tall. So whoever this nigga was, I'm looking at him like, okay, he must be a bench player. I didn't know who the fuck he was. I just remember a fight broke out, and me and Hurst was watching by the pool tables, and when police went to Paul's bed, they had a picture book, like a big album book. Hey, let's get something to eat. Yeah, and whatever, and I just when you pull over because I want to smoke again too. I said I want to smoke again too when you pull over. So let me get to Tennessee. All good. So they went to Paul's bed when he was still bleeding. They trying to have him point me. They kept telling him to point me, and he was like, no. I would like to do a 30 for 30 with Paul on this, man, because there's so much shit that happened, and we can really get this out and really show how racist Boston is. Because if you flip it, and I was a first round draft pick, and Paul was me, a rapper, they would have hated Paul and loved me. It didn't fucking matter. But anyways, Paul ended up pointing out Roscoe and them, took it to trial, and he pointed them out, and they got time. It was simple. He pointed Hurst out, And Hearst had nothing to do with it. Hearst was standing with me, and that's the God's honest truth. He mistaken identity, Hearst. So I had to pay for a lawyer, and I ended up, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like the drink champs thing was crazy because I had to, like, you know, I got drunk on purpose because I wanted to come out. I'd be too nice. I'd be too politically correct, and it was too much inside that needed to come out. So I ain't got nothing against Paul Pierce. I didn't have nothing against Paul Pierce back then. But the bottom line was, you know, my guys got a lot of time for that shit, and you know, he almost lost his life for that shit. So, and again, it was really over a chick. Like at the end of the day, so you know, we just gotta don't look at how I was saying it. I know my tone was a little bit over the top, but just listen to the message. When I'm saying that, I'm really caring about these young guys going in these cities and how they conduct themselves. Like, it's better to deal with people you know and fly them in, opposed to just dealing with chicks in these cities that you really don't know. Not only they can set you up, but you don't know who their baby daddies are. 9 times out of 10, they're a nigga from the hood who ain't got nothing to lose.
Well, you know, some people grow up different, right? And then baby mamas collide, so that become a tricky situation. I done seen too many people who got killed over some dick and pussy shit. More people get killed over dick and pussy shit than drug deals, gang wars, all of that shit, bro. People are emotionally attached to these women. On the West Coast, we like, I ain't gonna hit my man's bitch, but we might have a pass around or something. Hey, yeah, bro, go ahead and hit. That shit was bomb. I told you, you know what I'm saying? Growing up, that's how we work. So when we get out there, how we know that she didn't say that? But so Paul Pierce definitely got down on you. People say he's not a rat because he's a civilian. But I done seen Paul Pierce since Inglewood High School when they won the championship, throwing up the bead, Inglewood, Bloods, all of that type of shit, right? So you can't on one foot be acting like you represent yourself as a street nigga, get into it with some motherfuckers over dick and pussy shit, and then, oh no, I'm a civilian. Nah, it works like that, bro.
See the thing. No, but the thing was this, right? The thing was this, right? Like, you know, Paul came back, and you got to give him credit where credit deserves. He came back and was one shot away from going to the championship, and they lost to Indiana. Like, imagine that. Imagine it stabbed like that. He comes back, and then, like, that's one of the greatest. He doesn't get enough flowers for that. The problem, I think, with Paul is just like how I was at Drink Champs. I'm not a drinker, but when I drink, I get emotional. And that's how most people are. And I think that's how Paul is. I think when you're lucky enough to get a contract of millions and millions, the same thing with John Moran. Like it got to be the people around you and that keep you in check because you're so blessed to have something going for you. And he didn't understand how blessed he was. And even the fact that you made it, you necessarily didn't have to point them out. At that point, you survived it. You was gonna play again, regardless of what happened. Because, like you said, who's to say the bitch didn't go? Listen? All I'm saying is it was an unfortunate situation, and we gotta learn from it. Let's be able to teach these young guys in the NFL and in the NBA to show them what not to do. See, I don't want to talk tough against Paul like because I'm beyond that. I'm 59 years old at this point, and it's hard to not be hypocritical. But at 59,
but you can grow from that situation.
Yes, yeah, man, and you know, it was bad. It was a bad fucking situation. That was a fucked up night for a lot of reasons. And then, listen, Scope, Roscoe had to do 20 years. That's damn near body numbers. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, listen, it's over now. Paul survived it. I know Roscoe got to be coming home soon. And, he's still going to be young and still going to have some life in him. And, you just got to move on. One thing I will say is that, like, you right about LA niggas because when you listen to Easy, and they was like, a bitch ain't shit, a bitch is a bitch. Like, LA niggas was hard on bitch. LA niggas didn't have no emotions over I noticed that. An East Coast nigga would more so get emotion over his bitch back then than the LA nigga. Like, that's a great point, for real.
Yeah. So now we talked about the Eminem thing, but then look at this. Eminem reignites 22 years with Benzino and drags his daughter Toya Ray on new diss track. So
Crazy.
it came with, yeah. So how did this happen, and how did you feel about him disrespecting your daughter, having a lack of respect for your daughter? You know
and I only know how to keep it one. Some people don't like how truthful I be, but I only know one way. You know, the fact that the stuff that what me and Coy's been going through over the internet didn't help the situation, because, you know, it's like when he mentioned her, you know, the thing with me was, the first thing with me was like, you know, when Coy was bigging him up when she first came out, because I know she didn't want the backlash from the situation with me and him. She
Damn, we lost.
kind of just.
Oh, there you go. He'll come back in. Damn, we was getting into the good one, man. That's a whole lot of editing I got to do to fix all of the time where he was getting bad reception. But I appreciate him hollering and pulling up today. Anyway, hey, Smokey Show, resend the paperwork so you'll be at the top of my Instagram DMs, and then I'll drop the paperwork in the chat. So y'all, we got the work. Yeah, we got the work. The nigga
Damu Kiwe conversations.
Yeah, and if you look, you see Papa Dirt saying Paul always associated himself with the B. That's a fact. Went to Inglewood High School, was throwing up B's and claiming like he was a blood sympathizer. He never was a banger. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, you got to think a blood sympathizer had to be kind of acting tough. You know what I'm saying? Back then, it was thousands and thousands of Crips and wasn't too many Bloods. It was hard. But he won the championship. He went to Kansas. You know what I'm saying? Same thing, throwing up the B and Inglewood and all of that type of stuff. But so when you acting tough and putting yourself out there with that type of energy, bro, and you get into a fight, stabbed up, and you live through it, if you can't be acting like you street, my nigga, and you know, oh, I'm a civilian now, and then I'm a gangster now. No, it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we get the boy back. They should be pulling over anyway. And a matter of fact, we're going to take a small intermission, and we're going to get into this video and wait for him to come back. Wanted y'all to hit that like button, man. Share it. This is a great interview, and I'm praying that y'all appreciate it. Go to Deuce in Vivo. Damu Kiwe conversation. That like active in the chat. You see them chucks. I ain't seen no chucks all day. Thanks for sharing it on Facebook. And we definitely want to finish this. Good. All right,
yep.
So you were talking about your daughter not wanting to
So
beat with Slim Shady, the politics, to blackball her before she got started.
Right. So automatically she put the message out there. Listen, I don't have anything to do with my dad. I think Eminem's a great artist, and and I didn't have a problem with that at all. Absolutely not. I understood why she did it, and I respected it. Didn't bother me. I wasn't upset. This was years later. So by this time in my mind, I'm like, shit, there's no more beef. It should be over with. So when Eminem came out with the song, first of all, the song wasn't that great. So it didn't hit me as hard as it would have if it came out like Nail in the Coffin or something. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that great. So I wasn't too upset about it, based on the situation that me and Coy was going through, and then based on the song wasn't really all that to me. So I just was like, okay, I need to go in here and make a couple of joints, You know what I'm saying? Because nowadays, back then we didn't have the internet we was beefing. Now we got it. So now it's like shit, here go my time. You know what I'm saying? Here go my time to get back in this. And because I knew I was gonna come back and bring up a lot of shit virally, like the tapes and all this other shit. And I knew that he wasn't the same lyricist as he was. Like when you listen to the last albums he dropped, the music just declined dramatically. As far as for our people, he's making music pretty much now for white people because the type of beats, the type of music.
It's been that way for a minute, and I don't think his lyricism fell off as much as his subject matter. You know what I'm saying? Like he was held to a different standard. Like it's not black people shit to be talking about. I'm finna have my daughter in the car and kidnap my baby mom and throw her in the trunk and ride around town. Like, how dare niggas say some shit like that? Go at them with the Christians and all of this other stuff while being marketed by the super machine Interscope. I just really think at that point he used to go at Britney Spears. Like, what rapper was attacking Britney Spears and Mariah Carey and Christina Aguilera and Bamboo? So Bamboo, what was they? The Backstreet Boys. He used to diss all of them in his content. Like, that's not even really good subject matter. So even then, he never really was wrong with subject matter, but I don't think his lyricism fell off.
I think out of all his, it's like it's like a Marvel movie. Out of all his, like Spider-Man, all his villains, I'm really the one. I'm really the one that he really probably.
I think
the guy I'm really the guy that he really don't. I'm sure that he don't like the most. So for him to come back 20 years later and make another song about me, obviously I'm still on his mind. People like, I still talk about it in my interviews. I mean, if somebody asks me a question, I'm gonna answer the question. And, I don't bring them up. Shit. I don't tell the interviewer, let's make sure we talk about Eminem, before the interview. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we got a comment right on that. It said that Slim Shady even dissed Lauryn Hill, calling her a racist. Have you ever heard the diss song that Slim Shady made? Dissing her sister.
Listen, if you want to know any Slim Shady news or any shit he done, there's a Instagram called Tree Hills Club. The Trees Hill Club or Tree Hills Club. The shit they post is like, I've never seen something. We did our homework when we was going through the Eminem thing. We had to be like Dateline. We found out where he was from, where he was born. I mean, everything about it. So it's just, but look, at this point, he opened up the door for me, and I came back with 2 songs, and I went to Detroit. You know what I'm saying, to rap Mom Spaghetti. I did the video, so it was great content. It was a great moment because I shifted the whole of Benzino's career because a lot of people were feeling the 2 songs I did, and for a good couple of months, man, I had the internet on fire, which is something that I had no idea was even going to take place. I didn't know he was going to disrespect me again at all. So, I'm saying, I turned it into the opportunity, man. I had fun with it. You know what I'm saying? This ain't nothing like I make money off of. You know what I'm saying? It's hip hop, and I love hip hop, and I just seen the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And I took advantage of it, and I'm glad I did because a lot of people said I won. A lot of people said I won this round.
Yeah. So in a capitalistic society,
a lot of
this is what you're supposed to do. Oh shit. We done lost him again. Boom, here you go. Oh shit, it went back out. They in a boonies somewhere. Hey, hit that like button, share, tell a friend. You know what I'm saying? He should be coming back in. We finna get into he spoke a little bit on how he felt about Coi Leray and the position she took on the Slim Shady thing. He wasn't really tripping off that. I want to show this video that was kind of touching to me because it's a narrative that's been pushed out there for years about how black men don't involve themselves in the kid's life and to see a father and a daughter. And this one, it was very telling. Like I said, I really want to get into Benzino. Obviously, y'all know the story. If you didn't, we gave you a lot of the backstory, different situations that's been going on for decades in the hip-hop era when related to Benzino. Oh, shit, Spider-Lo just sent me some and said Benzino bad. Oh, shit. Where the work? Where's the work? Because you know what? One thing we ain't going to do is harbor. Hit that like button. Because we might have to get into this. What we ain't going to do is harbor, but I need to work. You know what I'm saying? But he said it was a video, so I'm gonna run the video that Spider sent me and ask him about it, and then he could tell us about it. And but after this Coi Leray, I think I want to go into some statements she said, and then we gonna open it up for any questions that we got on Clubhouse. Any of the moderators or people have any questions?
Damu Kiwe conversation.
But we definitely, they said Benzino did tell on his nephew for sure. Oh, damn. Sherm Hefner said, oh, damn. Hey, they said, listen, I get all of that y'all heard.
DM, I sent you some stuff today. You was going to do that interview.
I know, but did you send it back to the top? They said Spider Brother, but what I'm saying is where to work though.
Yes, sir.
Did you send me any work on Benzino? Is that what you saying? Hey, Yael.
Sent the work. I did send
Since they talking about some Benzino told, what's this about?
I'm finna send you the work right now. Oh shit, y'all done got some shit started, man. You know what I'm saying? He said he been sent to work. Hold on, I'm finna send it.
I've been sent that shit.
Could you resend it again so it be at the top? Okay, boom. Commonwealth prevails. Okay, which one do it start at? Case one?
Now, I just sent it a second ago.
All right, which one is it? Commonwealth versus Raglan? Huh?
The Campbell interview where they got to report it. The paperwork is where they mention the grand jury question them and they reference his statements.
Okay, well, Yael, you finna get real active because you finna read this after we finish this part about his daughter. Oh yeah, I mean you hear things, but you know where I come from. I ain't gonna publicly relate anything until I read it and know the facts. You got to do research. But this looked like Commonwealth prevails in the appeal of drive-by shooting assault victims, Plymouth County District Attorney. And then you got Commonwealth versus Raglan. I think this might be it.
That's the nephew.
That's the nephew?
Uh-oh.
Where Henny at? Where the hell Henny at? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Y'all check your DMs. Oh, shit. Yeah, hey, listen, my nigga, but his nephew turned himself in before they interviewed Benzino. Seems like she Hollywood now. Saying his daughter, didn't he get shot? See, it's a lot of questions, and I didn't do enough. Benzino, we need answers. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
And shot his ass in a funeral procession line.
Jeez, this might run him off. Listen, my nigga, we had a great, if he ain't got nothing to hide, then, you know, but people that know is telling us it's all bad. You know what I'm saying? People we know.
Deuce,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Every time I click on my Instagram, it's telling me that my Wi-Fi is having issues. So I gotta, if you can send it to my phone, I could probably try to read it from there, or we gotta get Henny on here ASAP.
Oh shit! Hold on, bro. Why I gotta do all
this ain't true, bro?
Why I gotta do all of this? Why I gotta do all of this for you, my nigga?
Bro, here you go.
Blue M&Ms on the left side and all of that. Nah, my nigga.
Please,
you be doing the most, my nigga.
All right, so if I got to time out and jump about this motherfucker.
Okay, we finna get into this video now. We finna get into this video now.
Damu Kiwe conversations.
All right, we gonna take this coil array off for a second. We finna get into this video. Oh, this is nasty work. And then what's the name? See your video. All right. Oh shit. Let's get into it. Benzino official audio, Cam Capone News.
It's 14:07 hours on Saturday, March 29th, 2014. I'm Trooper Brian Galvin. I'm at the South Shore Hospital with Raymond Scott, shooting victim. Raymond, I advise you the tape recorder's on, right? I know you're having a little bit of a tough time to speak. Just try to do the best you can so that the tape can.
That like button. Hashtag ETE in the chat.
All right, let me get the nurse to help you sit up, bud. I know it does hurt bad. Raymond, you know you sustained a serious gunshot wound, right? And there's always the potential that something could happen and you could die of these injuries, right? You're clear on that, right?
Is this the Cam Capone interview? Because it looked like
the words is off.
Oh man, this is crazy.
Oh yeah, this is it. Yeah, I see it. Okay.
Brendan, can you try to tell me what happened today?
Can't do it right now.
Can't do it right now? Okay. We'll try again maybe once they get you a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. It's 14:09 hours. Okay, only a couple minutes after you started, and we'll continue the interview when you're a little more comfortable. Okay. Okay, $1,500 Saturday, March 29th, 2014. I'm back with Raymond Scott, and so you know, like all the other times that the tape recording's on, correct? I know you nodded, but just for the tape.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. And my boss wanted me to clarify. You didn't intentionally slow down next to his vehicle, did you? On the highway?
No, everybody was going slow.
Okay. Were you trying to like get into the procession, or were you just?
I didn't. I was on the phone as it was happening. I just looked. I was like, "Oh, this is it." And then I looked over, seen the car and everything else. That's what happened.
We waiting on Benzino to come back. He should come back because he was
and slow down because you recognize that this might be the procession.
Smoke.
Yes.
Okay. And you didn't try to maneuver into the procession?
No.
Okay.
I got up. This the thing. He rolled his window down. He put his gun out and he shot.
Okay. You saw him?
Seen him. Mm-hmm. I just was surprised. I seen it. Next thing you know, gunshots. That was it.
Okay. You didn't intentionally pull up next to his car or anything?
I mean, potentially. I just was going through the procession. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't have no fucking gun on me. I didn't have any gun. There was no gun. He had a gun.
Right.
Shit. Obvious.
When you say he, who was that?
Guy.
All right. Thank you for clarifying those last couple of points. I'm going to end the recording. And you understand each time we've talked that you've been on the tape, you know, and so forth. Yes, and it's a tape statement. You understand that? Okay. Pleasure to speak with you. I hope you heal well, and I'm going to end the tape now. Okay, sir?
Yeah. That's when I see the Bentley, and he looked over, and he put his window down.
Who's he?
Guy.
Right. I just need you to say, yeah.
That's when he started shooting.
Okay. And did he stick his hand out the window?
I just remember him shooting. I don't remember. I just remember he was shooting at me.
Do you have a guess or a thought, or do you know how many times he shot at you?
About 5 times.
And is that because you're seeing and hearing it, or just hearing it?
Well, I got hit with 2, and then there was a few more shots. So.
And where did you get hit?
In my arm and grazed on my back.
Okay, so you have one wound, actual gunshot wound to your arm.
Yeah, that's enough. We hey Benzino,
Yeah.
you just came on here telling us you always been the street nigga. You tell us about how Paul Pierce ratted on you. We done went through all of this, and then I done got this content. Now you the content. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no selective politicking. We ain't doing no fake bicking. Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, he said the other nigga had the strap. Then he said a nigga bust on him. He got
said
hit.
this is nephew.
They said he popped. He told on his nephew.
Yeah. We finna get into this. I'm gonna wait a couple more minutes. And if he don't come back, I'm gonna invite him. If he don't come back now, you know what we do. You know what I'm saying? And when we come back, I'm a holler at that girl Henny and the Henny legal team, and we gonna find so much shit he gonna wish he never came up on this motherfucker. Cause if he would have been like he was a civilian and all of this shit, cause he was in the entertainment business and the rapper and all of that, I would have been like, cool. But when we first started, it was I've been a street nigga, you know what I'm saying? My dad was a street nigga, you know what I'm saying? The tar this, you know what I'm saying? China white that, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, you can't be popping all of that and then tell us how Paul Pierce told, and then we looking at PP, and I was a Paul Pierce fan, even though he went to Boston because he was from the land, you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
I would cheer him on, him and Tippy Toe Antoine Walker when they wasn't playing the Lake Show, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is nasty work. Then they said
bro,
his nephew was never dude. It's the ones that say that ain't. Selena said, yeah, got him in living color. Damn, man, this is nasty work. Benzino, you down bad. I guess he ain't coming back. Hey, listen, to be continued. We started off cool. I thought this was a cool dude. Didn't know nothing about his ratting. But straight no chases, salute. Smokey, salute. That girl Henny, salutes. Scandalous Los Angeles TV, salute. We'll be meeting tomorrow when I come from work. We finna cook this. You don't come on Damu Kiwe Conversation and you ain't a civilian and you on paperwork, my nigga. That you thought you was sliding through the motherfucking you thought you was sliding through the motherfucking unscathed. Hey, but look, we definitely getting into it. Yael, I sent you that paperwork. I'ma send it to the team to the next time.
That hot shit, nigga. This shit, bro. Real shit. I'm proud of you, bro. Please do not give up.
Damu Kiwe.
Hell no. Can't, nigga. Whatever they do, I already know, nigga. This ain't nothing but a stepping stone. If they accept the nigga or not, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. I know what I do is dope. I got shit that's going on right now.
Listen to the Kiwe pop star. But look, Damu Kiwe Conversations. We gone.